Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
The second trailer for The Mandalorian, which is coming on Disney Plus November 12th, has just launched the other day, and it looks great. I mean, it's more or less the same thing that we saw last time. A little bit more of the action, though, and a little bit more focusing on the Mandalorian. You even get to hear his voice at the end where he just simply says, yeah, good, kind of enticing a threat coming towards him, and it looks really awesome. I mean, to be honest, the dude's fighting a bunch of motherfuckers at the beginning, using like a staff-like kind of weapon, and he looks great. It's a show about bounty hunters. It looks kind of like the Star Wars you would expect from the original trilogy era, where it's very gritty. It feels very lived in. I mean, there's a part where he goes into a city and he goes into a certain room or something to do business, and it looks almost like the cantina scene from A New Hope, and you see all these interesting characters and people in the Star Wars universe in that scene. I think it's great. I like the show. I like the action that it has so far. I like the fact that Pedro Pascal is actually one of the main leads. He is the Mandalorian himself, and there's also a bunch of cool Easter egg things that you have. The Separatist ship, there was one of those, and there's also a super battle droid that you see, one or two of them in the background. A lot of stunning visuals as well. I think they've used unique and innovative camera technology for this show. And you have another great actor, I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays Gus Fring from Breaking Bad is in it. And also, my boy Billy Baldhead, Bill Burr, is also in this. He's making a Star Wars debut in the Mandalorian show. I can't wait to see him. I hope they actually use him as someone that's a little bit of a comedic relief. They get some of his unique sense of humor. I really do like Bill Burr. I think he's a funny and great guy. So I'm excited to see what he can do in this show as well. I just gotta be honest. I mean, this show looks to be what I would say the savior of Star Wars. I feel like, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but I feel like since Disney has bought Star Wars, we've really lacked the uniqueness and creativity of exploring a different part of the Star Wars universe. Ever since they've come on board, most of the stories we've explored have been between episodes 3 and 4. Which, sure, there's a lot to be done there, but it's a 19-year period that it's not that interesting, if I'm being honest. Some eras that intrigue me are more or less the time before the prequel era, and also the time after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Well, this is covering that timeline. This is something that I think that we as a Star Wars fandom have wanted to explore and go on different adventures with different characters and tell different stories, and not just do some of the stuff that we've seen before with same characters like the original trilogy cast, and kind of follow up on the Skywalker saga and whatnot. This is new, it's interesting, a lot of new and creative talent like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, Taika Waititi, Rick Famuyiwa, Deborah Chow, who's directing the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. She's directing 2 of the episodes in this show. It looks great. Visually, it looks stunning for a show that is in the Star Wars universe. You normally would expect the budget, of course, to be massive, but sometimes, since it's smaller than a film budget, you would expect kind of a downgrade in quality. You don't see that at all. This looks absolutely stunning. The costumes look amazing. The world feels and looks really lived in. And apparently you're also going to get a major spoiler for the Star Wars universe in the first episode. And that's very vague. I mean, it's kind of hard to spoil something if you're actually, talking about it in the film or in the movie, or in this case in the show, in the episode that you're doing. But there's a big Star Wars universe spoiler that will be coming with the show's debut on November 12th, and I'm excited to find out what that is. I don't know if it's about someone like Boba Fett, because this is talking about Mandalorians, if it's talking about Yoda. Honestly, who the fuck knows? But it's really interesting to see this trailer, and it's really interesting to see a lot of the cool Easter eggs and callbacks to even the Clone Wars era with the super battle droids, and bringing in new characters, new villains, and going to a new part of the Star Wars universe. I couldn't be happier going into this. I'm a lot more excited for this, personally, than I am for The Rise of Skywalker, than I am for Jedi Fallen Order. This is what I think the future of Star Wars is mostly going to be, where in terms of quality. In terms of unique storytelling, I think it's going to be on Disney Plus with their new shows, aside from Cassian Andor. I think this is kind of the future of Star Wars, exploring new parts of the universe through new ways of media and storytelling. I think this is going to be great. I think Jon Favreau is going to deliver, and I think his unique amount of directors, I mean, I can't remember how many directors he's got. It's Bryce Dallas Howard, Deborah Chow, Rick Famuyiwa, Dave Filoni, Taika Waititi. Am I missing somebody? I don't know anymore. But yeah, a lot of talented people involved with this project, and it looks absolutely amazing. But tell me your thoughts below. What do you think about the new Mandalorian trailer that just came out the other day? It's the second one, probably the last one, but the streaming service is coming out in like 2 to 3 weeks now. Time's ticking, and we're going to hit a new era of Star Wars, and it's never going to be the same again after November 12th. So tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all next time. May the Force be with you, always.